Ciao Juventini, I'm Alberto. I have all this morning's news surfacing around Juventus, and we're going to take a look at some more topics. Despite it being an international break, despite it being quiet, we still have opinions being divided amongst the fan base over certain topics. We're going to take a look at that with contract extensions being that main topic, all right? So today we have a better picture painted of who the top priorities are for Juventus in terms of contract extensions, and then we have the big one, the big divisive one, which is Adrian Rabiot, set to get an extended contract extension for long term. We're going to take a look at the details of that one. Federico Gatti apparently has surpassed Sandro. The Chiesa situation I started to talk about yesterday. Well, today we're starting to see it in the news and the rumblings are coming out. We're going to take a look at all that right now. This is the AJC. I'm Alberto. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Now let's rock and get into it. Diarra is a name amongst Juve's target list. Okay, he was mentioned a lot during this past mercato. Habib Diarra, we made advances. We tried to bring him in, but the other pieces of the puzzle did not fall in line, but he remains on a target list for Giuntoli and Juventus. Emmanuel Coney is also on there. And then Tommaso Baldanzi, someone that a lot of Juventini are excited about. We are amongst a host of Italian clubs that are trying to get the player's signature. We will follow that one, of course, and the entire list of names that we are targeting, all right? But we will see what happens. Chiesa, yesterday I brought up the fact that Juve is going to be looking to protect themselves in terms of losing a top asset, all right, and Chiesa being one of them. Today we're getting the reports that the relationship between Giuntoli, Juventus, and Chiesa whatnot is great, and they actually in fact have the player's word that he would never leave Juventus on a free, which is great. Juve still looking to extend him to protect themselves, because anything can happen in the world of football, as it is basically a business, all right? Now, when we talk about assets, losing assets, I said there's still this growing feeling amongst the fan base, and it seems to get stronger, that we're still going to lose an asset, whether that be Chiesa even after an extension or not. We will have to see, but there's still work to be done financially, all right? So not necessarily in the clear with anybody regardless of extensions, so something to watch out for. But in terms of the other players waiting for extensions, we've got Szczesny, you've got Rugani, you've got Gatti, you've got Houston, you've got Illing Jr. Well, Romeo Greci today gives us the top three priority for Juventus, and that's Gatti, Rugani, and Houston, all right? Houston to set 1 year, and that's more of a, welcome aboard, and you're showing a sign of good faith that you're essentially a first team player at Juventus, all right? So he's set to get 1 year. Illing Jr. set to get a contract extension as well. We know how much interest there is in that player. I still say he needs to see more minutes on the pitch. Only playing one competition may hurt him in that aspect, but hopefully he starts getting some more minutes, but he's set to extend as well. As far as Szczesny, the bigger names, Romeo Gresti says, those are your top three priorities: Gatti, Houston, and Rugani. Outside of that, he said, look at December. Then there will be room for those bigger players to get their contract extensions. But Adrian Rabiot, that is another name coming up today, and this has fans divided. Juve apparently set to offer him a 3 to 4 year contract extension. Yes, though, at a reduced wage. All right. So this has, again, many fans saying absolutely not. Do not renew him whatsoever. Well, for me, I will say this. I appreciate certain aspects of Rabiot's game. I appreciate the fact he's always fit and healthy and whatnot. But I've always said that the salary has been too much for what we get, all right? And last season, he showed that he can score and he can contribute as well and everything, and he's been a good piece. Yet last season, he was a vital piece for Juventus. However, I still don't think he's worth that money. Now, the thing is, with this extension, it won't be at the same money because Juve won't be able to take advantage of the growth decree anymore, okay? So, reduced wage, 3 to 4 years. For me, 2 years is my max, okay? At a reduced salary, and I would have no problem renewing Adrian Rabiot. Maybe even a third year, okay? As he's 28 years old, take him to 30, maybe 31, but 2 years would be fine with me, and definitely at a reduced wage. And I'd have no problems with it. But the majority of the fan base say absolutely not. You guys know the drill. I want to hear from you. Let me know. Renew Adrian Rabiot, yes or no? Now, finish up with Nico Schira coming in, being the first credible source to report that Gatti is in fact surpassing Alexandro. All right, still, I say I will believe it when I see it. I think Allegri is not going to drop Alexandro so abruptly. All right, but Skier is the first one to report it, and he's credible. Let's see what happens and see if it plays out. Gatti, again, one of the names, one of the top 3 priorities to get a contract extension. But Skier says the main 3 should be Gatti, Bremer, Danilo. As far as Bremer goes, yesterday you may have seen the YouTube short. All right, another opinion dividing statement and comment or whatever that came up on Twitter through topic of discussion when we brought up Bremer's stats, his start to the season, etc. Is he world class or not? Well, you know what everybody's throwing out. You saw the YouTube short, okay? He's not playing for his national team. He hasn't been doing it long enough. And I just want to know, what makes you consider a player world class? Where does Bremer stand? Can he get there? Do you believe he'll one day become world class, whatnot? For me, real quickly, I don't think he's world class, but I don't think he's far off. All right, and we'll get into more talks on the weekend on the live show after the Azzurri, as the majority of us around here support the Azzurri. We're going to probably have a live show after they take on that dreaded North Macedonia, all right? But you guys know the drill. Let me know what you think about everything you just heard today. Adrian Rabiot, renewal, yes or no? Bremer, is he world class, yes or no? And out of our names of targeted list players, who do you want Juventus to sign in the future? All right, drop it all in the comment section. Let's mix it up. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. As always, fino alla fine, forza Juve. Ciao tutti.